A very good evening, students, or good morning, depending upon which time you are glued to this video. Now, having completed students, our requirement for national income accounting, and that too with full zest and energy as expected of 12th class students, we now move on to the next part of our study that is related to money and banking, right? Which is a topic money and banking. Now, before I move ahead in this topic, a very small example I would like to quote as such, which will coincide with the requirement of this topic. Let's assume, student, that we have an individual A in a very um, in a very difficult environment to be believed upon, or a different environment to be believed, absolutely alone, absolutely stranded in an island where he himself has to do everything to survive. And therefore, what he does is he produces certain vegetables for his own consumption, and that will be something which he will be fully dependent upon, and there is no one else, right? Now, that is a very far fetched idea. If not real, let's assume something more, that there are some more people who join him, these three B, C, and D, just to give him a little bit of company. You know, this is the COVID era, and everyone requires company as such, needs to talk to each other, as the present requirement of the day is. So B, C, and D join A in that island, and they are producing their respective products: wheat, dairy products, fruit, respectively, B, C, and D. Now, assume that A is absolutely done with vegetables. He wants something else as such, as a part of his daily requirement or daily consumption. So, what he does is he approaches B for consumption of wheat. All right. Now, B has it plenty. So, what A is trying to uh, have a little bit of wheat along with vegetables, which he is consuming up till now. So, A approaches B for wheat, which B is willing to give to A. But what it also requires is something on the part of A to be given, right? Something on the part of the A to be given. Now, in the present scenario, you will simply say, give him few dollars, few rupees, few tokens of money, and that would be settling the score as such. But I'm talking about a strange situation, island, nothing to be, and going back into primitive era as such, right? So what A would be required? A would be required to give certain amount of vegetables to trade little bit of wheat with B. Now, as all of you are aware of, it is nothing new as such to be heard of. That system is referred as the barter system of exchange, wherein the commodity is exchanged for another commodity as such by the two people or the parties concerned. Now, since we are doing money and banking, we need to relate something with barter. Otherwise, our importance of money will not be emphasized in the manner which it should be. So let's try to find out that this barter system, which is also called as, mark it down, students, remember it, direct exchange system, also referred as commodity for commodity exchange system. Which one? Commodity for commodity exchange system. Even though appears to be pretty simple, but if you increase the number of people as such, and every individual is trying to look for some other person to find his product, there will be some problems which you will find, and that's why barter system is not considered to be, and not considered to be a great system, and that's why it is replaced by money system. Now, one of the biggest problem of barter system was, if A requires wheat, naturally B has it, so B will give it. But what about B's requirement for vegetables produced by A? Is it a must that B needs to have such type of requirement of A's product? भाई ऐसा भी तो पॉसिबल हो सकता है कि बी को कोई रिक्वायरमेंट ही नहीं है ए के वेजिटेबल्स की. सो इफ दैट इज द सिनेरियो, देन what will happen is both the parties will not be able to come together for a trade because A requires B product but B doesn't require A's vegetables, right? Supposingly both of them were happy to exchange each other product as such, in that event we would have said that there is a presence of double coincidence of wants. There was presence of double coincidence of wants. But we know from our experience and we can imagine pretty easily, students, that it is not a must that if A requires B's wheat, B also will be at the same time requiring A's vegetables. So in more often than not cases, what was the real irony with the system? The real blemish with the system? That instead of presence of double coincidence, there was a lack of double coincidence of want, and that lack of double coincidence of want turned out to be first limitation of this barter system. So one of the major reasons why money has to come into equation was because there was a real lack of double coincidence of wants for maximum transactions. I hope it's quite clear, students. So the first limitation of barter system, lack of double coincidence of wants. I hope it's quite clear. Imagine the scenario and you will find that these things were real problematic with barter. More problems to come up in the next video. Thank you.